Just when you think that they can't possibly get any more dumb, they do it. They get more stupid. When somebody sent me a screenshot of what looked like a Trump tweet saying that he was canceling Veterans Day, I thought it had to be fake because I thought this man could not possibly be that dumb. Now, the record is clear. Donald Trump hates veterans, especially Vietnam vets, especially vets who went to Iraq and Afghanistan, because he considers us as not having won that war. And therefore, our service and sacrifice aren't worth shit to him. But for him to put in writing that he is erasing Veterans Day, a federal holiday since the 1960s, something that has been celebrated by Americans since the 1950s, I didn't think it was real. I didn't think that Donald Trump could be that dumb. But I guess I need to lower my expectations because it's real. Donald Trump is saying that we don't celebrate our victories enough. So he is erasing Veterans Day. No appreciation for any veterans post-World War II.
I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, the benefits of being a veteran. But, I mean, it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country, but now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. It goes against everything I expected when, I voted for him.
So you're not satisfied with what he said?
No. And it doesn't even have to do with anything about me getting fired. I mean, if I had gotten fired as part of the, government, cutting government spending, I would have been fine with that. I can accept that. But he's not delivering on anything he said he was going to do. So what's your real game plan? It doesn't make sense to me.
There are some things that he promised to do that he has put in place. I mean, there are executive orders that he's done, that he said that he was going to do. You don't feel like he's lived up to those promises?
I mean, where are the results? I mean, seriously, prices are still going up. We're now in the middle of a tariff war with a bunch of countries that used to be our steadfast allies. I mean, how do you make an enemy of Canada? They're right next to us, and they've been one of our premier allies and commerce partners for, seriously, centuries now?
And he did say that he was going to put tariffs in place. Did you just not think that they would be implemented in this particular way?
I didn't think they were going to be put in play in a juvenile way. I mean, where was the attempt to actually talk to the heads of these other countries like, hey, I feel you have unfair tariffs against our products. I'd like to talk about it first. And if we can't work out some kind of resolution, then I feel to protect our people, we need to implement this kind of tariff. There was no attempt at even talking to the other countries.
I don't give a fuck if I'm crying. I don't fucking care. America, we're struggling, man. We're dying every fucking day, bro. We got to hear about another friend that blew his fucking head off. Another friend that fucking overdosed. Another friend that fucking did something stupid. Another friend that fucking... Everyone fucking hates, dude. We're very lonely, America. This is from a veteran. We're fucking dying. We're fucking dying, dude. You can't just feed us pills and say, here's fucking $100 a month. Go fuck yourself. I don't care if I sound like a bitch. We need something to fucking happen, bro. Fuck you.
It's estimated at least 6,000 veterans have lost their government jobs over the past month.
Kind of ironic.
Many of them are disabled vets, like Stephen Dow.
And then they said, you have about 5 minutes, pack up your personal things.
Dow served in the Air Force for 20 years. A blast in Afghanistan left him with a broken neck. Why did you decide to look for a job with the federal government?
Because I want to continue to serve.
He started working as an executive assistant at the Pentagon 9 months ago. I mean, your review says you have a mastery of technology. Steve sets the standard for productivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were good at your job.
I was. Yeah. I take initiative for things. I find things that are broken and try to fix them. And that's ingrained in me from when I was in the military.
Did you vote for President Trump?
I did 3 times.
Why?
Because I thought he was the right person for the job. And I didn't expect this.
So what's your message to him now?
Take a closer look.
I asked President Trump about that the other day.
Are you tracking how many veterans have been fired so far?
Yes,
and do you
are.
want DOJ to avoid letting them go?
We are, and we take good care of our veterans, so we're watching that very carefully.
But CBS News has found no evidence that the administration is tracking veteran layoffs or trying to prevent them.
It's harmful to the mental health of veterans, right? Some of us have lost friends and family members serving this country. To get treated like this, it's a disservice to their lives. It's a disservice to our service.
Donald Trump is trying to erase the graves of Black, Hispanic, and women veterans at the Arlington National Cemetery. Task and Purpose reports that the website for Arlington National Cemetery has unpublished links in lists of notable graves, walking tours, and educational materials pointing to Black, Hispanic, and women veterans, as well as Medal of Honor winners. Arlington National Cemetery in Northern Virginia is our most famous national cemetery, housing 400,000 graves of U.S. service members dating back to the Civil War. It includes 2 presidents and more than 400 Medal of Honor recipients. But according to Task and Purpose, in recent weeks, the website has scrubbed dozens of pages on grave sites and education materials pertaining to the histories of prominent Black, Hispanic, and female service members buried in the cemetery, along with educational materials on dozens of Medal of Honor recipients. Cemetery officials confirmed to Task and Purpose that the pages were unpublished to meet recent orders by Donald Trump and his Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who have been targeting race and gender-related language and policies in the military. They're trying to hide these graves because they're the graves of Black, Hispanic, and women heroes. You may recall that Trump recently banned the history of the Tuskegee Airmen from being taught at the Pentagon. These were a series of Black pilots from World War II who were quite the heroes. Movies were done about them. Only after the outrage did Trump bring the history back. Trump also banned mentions of the Enola Gay aircraft that dropped the bomb over Japan of World War II because it had the word gay in the name. Now we're trying to erase the graves of our military heroes.
You know what's wild to me? The fact that we have a president who loves talking about supporting the troops, but behind closed doors, his administration is trying to quietly gut veterans' benefits. Like, you're not going to see a big announcement about it. You're not going to even hear Donald Trump standing at a podium bragging about cutting healthcare for the very people who put their lives on the line for this country. No. Instead, they're trying to sneak it through in the budget. The new budget proposal slashes funding for key veterans' healthcare programs that cover things like mental health services, rehabilitation, housing support, hell, even basic medical treatment. You know, things that you would need if you spent years deployed in a war zone. And the excuse they're using, well, we have to reduce the deficit. Oh, now they care about the deficit? After giving away trillions in tax cuts for billionaires? After running up tariffs that wreck small businesses? Now they want to balance the budget by kicking veterans off their healthcare plans. Imagine surviving combat, surviving PTSD, surviving all the crap they throw at you when you come home, only to find out your own government is trying to nickel and dime you out of basic medical care. It's disgusting, it's cowardly, and it's the exact opposite of supporting the troops.
He don't like veterans, okay? He don't like veterans. He does not like the military, okay? Y'all, to the 61% of veterans that were Donald Trump supporters, y'all got to really rethink your life. This man has said he wants to rename Veterans Day. He wants to honor the victory of war. What is his obsession with World War II? We have had a number of 3-4 wars since World War II. All right, like, what are we talking about? This dude wants to honor the victory of a war that he was not really alive to witness. Okay. And it doesn't make any sense. You're really not beating those allegations that you were trying to pattern your entire presidency after Mr. Mustache, because The obsession with that time period in American history is outrageous. In my opinion, that particular victory, all right, World War II, is maybe one of the few times this country has actually been like considered a shining beacon of hope on the world stage. But honestly, since then, we ain't been looking good. You know, we have not been living up to the reputation that we established for ourselves by winning World War II. But instead of acknowledging that and looking for ways to push our society forward and accept the changing climate, all right, accept the way the world and the socioeconomic climate is changing every single day, every single month, every single year, you just want to go back and live in the victory of World War II. This party, they are like a cover band, all right? They are a cover band, and all they're doing is playing the hits from the 80s. Don't Stop Believing. But they have such a fear of the future and a fear that they don't have a place in it, that all they can do is kind of bring up the past. It's very sad to watch and very embarrassing for this country.
I left the United States military with this, and this, a DD-214. I also left with a promise from my country that if I would serve the United States Army, if I would defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, that when the rubber hit the road and it was time for my country to take care of me, that's exactly what they would do. It's becoming apparent that nobody is coming to save your vets and your soldiers. It's becoming apparent. But this is a public service announcement. There are a group of soldiers, a band of brothers, that I belong to. But all of them are not as cool, calm, and collected as I am. There's a group of brothers that will pop off because they take the words duty, honor, integrity, selfless service, courage to heart. There are a group of brothers and sisters that feel some type of way about our elected officials reneging on the things that our country promised us. Yeah, you got to think long and hard before you bother the band of brothers and sisters. You have to think long and hard, because betrayal is almost insurmountable when it comes to a vet. I know them. I am a part of them. I am their sister in arms, and they won't take it lightly. Woke up this morning and y'all decided to fire 80,000 employees from the Veterans Affairs Department. This is not a fight y'all want